do you think, Violet? We're going to read a book about you. Look, it's about you. Yeah, what do you think? Should we do it? All right, we are just going to start because I don't know how long she'll sit on the perch. So welcome to Reading with Raptors on this Friday. And we are here with Violet, our turkey vulture. And she's out here on our perch under our education pavilion, depending. She's watching for Kristen, who's giving breakfast right now. So she may get a little anxious, but we'll see. And I'm very excited to read this book. This book I found at a Goodwill. It's called Nature's Flying Janitors. It's a golden book, which is kind of fun. And it was published the year before I was born, 1974. But it's this really nice job. Thank you. Oh, where are you going? Oh, what you doing down there? Come on. Yeah. Let's step up, shall we? Yeah. You got it. No need to worry. Her leash is long enough that she's able to get down. We check that to make sure that they're safe. So, can you stay right there? I have to see if we're going to read about you or not. If you don't want me to, it's okay. We'll figure it out, okay? So, now that we've baited, we're going to stretch a little bit. We're going to read about you, Nature's Flying Janitor. Oftentimes people refer to our vultures as that. I think they're more like nature's hazmat team. So these are super fun. I will show pictures and then read them to you. Look at that face. It says, for years, I've been portrayed as a villain. In Western movies, I am usually seen perched on a cactus or on a dead tree, waiting for a lost prospector to give up or die. Or in a safari movie, I may be circling high overhead, patiently waiting for the remains of an uneaten carcass. Very 70s photos. Look, you see it? I'm gonna turn around. Good girl. You see them all hanging together. It says, but I'm not really a villain. I almost never attack a living creature. I just wait around to do my part in Nation's Sanitation Corps. I help to keep the landscape tidy. You could call me a flying janitor, but my name is Turkey Vulture. Even if I wanted to be a hunter like the hawk or an eagle, I wouldn't be very successful. I'm not equipped for it. My feet are not strong enough to grasp and kill, and when I fly, I cannot change direction fast enough to swoop down and take an animal by surprise. My only choice is to wait and eat what others have. Good morning, Marcia. Good morning, Caitlin. Good morning, Ryan. And this, I think, is such a beautiful rendition. Do you see her? When you left, she was so mad. She's like, she hopped off the perch like, I'm going to go get my own breakfast. I'm like, no, we'll have breakfast after we read, okay? I know, that's frustrating. All right. At dawn, when the sun begins to rise, other birds hurry out looking for food. But I don't. I wait for the sun to warm the ground. As the ground becomes warmer, it heats the air directly above, and the warm air rises. The rising air creates wind currents. Perched on a dead tree or fence post, I stretch my wings ready to hitch a ride on a rising air current. With only a few flaps, I can catch the wind and soar for hours. Although we appear awkward on the ground, it's true, don't tell Violet. We are actually quite graceful in the sky. We are even described as the masters of soaring. You can recognize us even at a distance. That's nice, you're turning pages? Thank you. By the V angle of our wings. Our keen eyesight helps us discover a meal on the ground even when we are soaring high in the sky. So this is a case where we now know better than that. Their keen sense of smell helps them find their food. She can smell parts per billion, and the olfactory lobe in her brain is a quarter size larger in turkey vultures than even in other vultures. What are you doing? What do you see? I'm turning. You want to see? She's like, I am so mad. You want to turn a page? Look it. It's you. So yet another, really accurate photos and things like that. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you. As the daily search for food begins, I keep an eye on the other vultures as well on the ground. If one of us locates a dead animal, that one will drop from the sky and circle at a lower level. The vulture closest will follow, and then another and another. Vultures gather in large numbers where food is available. If there is no other animal eating the food, we land nearby, walk over to our meal, and begin our feast. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you. Oh, this one's my favorite part because it's one of my favorite facts. Sometimes we are so hungry that we overeat, particularly if the feast is large and appetizing. We might eat until we are too heavy to fly, and then we must wait on the ground until part of the food is digested. You might think this would make us easy prey for our enemies. Is that true, Violet? Is it? I know. But we have our own methods of defense. We can spray the food we have just eaten at any attacker. That's a really nice way of saying that they, good morning, Katie, that they projectile vomit their food up to 10 feet. And since this food looks and smells so awful, it's true, the attacker will leave us alone. We stick together and don't associate outside our circle. Pretty accurate. While we may be considered unattractive by many people, conservationists and bird watchers respect us because they understand the important role we play in nature's chain of life. We are particularly useful in tropical countries where there are no garbage collectors except us. The easiest way to understand nature's food chain is to start with plants, the basic source of food for all animals. For example, a grasshopper that has just finished a meal of green leaves might in turn be trapped and eaten by a spider. Without warning, the spider may be captured and eaten by a lizard. And like a bullet from the sky, a hawk might attack and gobble up the lizard. As each of these creatures is eaten, it becomes a link in nature's food chain. But dead or decaying plants and animals are also part of the food chain. And this is where Nature's Sanitation Corps comes in. Its members serve as scavengers, disposing of unwanted materials. You can see this guy. Hi, Lorelei. Good to see you. Decaying matter can be a breeding ground for disease germs. If Nature's Sanitation Corps did not help get rid of decaying remains, other creatures who are not equipped for the job might eat the remains and spread the germs or die from them. So for instance, Miss Violet, hello Penelope, can eat something that has rabies, but her stomach acid is so strong that it will stop the rabies in its track, which is pretty amazing and great for the environment and all of us as well as our wild neighbors. As the most important bird members of this cleanup corps, that's you. You're the most important, Violet. We are perfectly adapted for the job. No disease germ can survive our strong stomach juices, and our naked head, which some people think is ugly, allows us to dig deep into a carcass without soiling our feathers. So we've also talked about how she can cue ball her head. She'll pull her feathers back, sort of like if you go to wash your hands. Do you see her in there? It's all right. You're getting fresh water. You roll up your sleeves. We show little preference in our choice of foods. You want to turn around? What you doing? When death comes to any animal, its body becomes food for us. Small animals killed by speeding cars, skunks, snakes, turtles, small birds, fish tossed away by fishermen. You want to turn around? What you want to do? Let me put this up here. There you go. Dead tadpoles and dried up streams, leftovers from the butcher shop, or food found in the garbage dump. Hi, Patty. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. Vultures are helpful in many parts of the world, especially where there are no garbage collectors. For instance, a farmer in Mexico might shoot a wolf caught attacking his chickens. The farmer will usually drag the dead animal away before it decays enough to smell. But wherever he leaves it, a vulture will probably find it and eat it. But the vulture might not be a turkey vulture. It could be the very next best-known member of my family, the black vulture. And I don't know if you guys ever tune in to Jane Kelly at On the Wing. She used to have Archie, who was a black vulture, and if I may say so, was possibly the most handsome black vulture I've ever seen. He's no longer with us, but he was absolutely magnificent. So, black vultures, as you can see, black head, and again, 1974. That's when this book was written. It's very exciting. I love this page. Let's just look at the artwork, shall we? Oh, nice rouse, Vi. I know, and then we're going to talk about you. So amazing. It could be a king vulture or a Cara vulture. I have to look at that because I'm not sure if that's real anymore. A white-headed vulture or a griffin vulture or an Egyptian vulture. Or a native in Africa might kill an animal and carry only part of it home, and a vulture dispose of whatever is left behind. Vultures everywhere are similar in structure and behavior. Although some of us have bald heads, we all eat carrion, the dead decaying remains of other animals. However, vultures who are not bald eat only the outside remains. Bald vultures eat the inside remains. And here's this, look at this little pic. So cool. It says, so you see, is this you, Violet? I am not a villain at all. My bald head may be ugly to some, and the work I do may be unpleasant for you to think about, but I do an important job. I help keep the landscape clean. People used to try to kill me because they thought I was harmful, but my work as a scavenger is so important that there are laws to protect me. And this is my favorite page in the whole book. Who knows, someday there may even be a stamp in my honor. Look at it. Look at that. I need to get that framed, I do believe. So, just another little backstory on this book. If I open it here, here's the opening and back pages. Again, published in 1974. And it's part of a series, so I'm going to keep trying to find the other ones on eBay and wherever else. I was lucky enough to find this at a secondhand shop. It's a golden book, and there's a whole series on Nature's Sanitation Corps. And the Nature's Flying Janitor, which is our lovely lady here. The Knight in Crusty Armor, Nature's Carpet Sweeper, The Laughing Garbage Disposal, Nature's Smallest Grave Digger, and Nature's Assistant. So I'm looking forward to finding more of these guys. Miss Lady, would you like to come hop up here? Or maybe I'll just grab this and we can chat a little bit more about you. Let's flip this around. Oh no, just kidding. There we go. So again, we were joined by Miss Violet today on our story time, right, Miss Violet? And Violet is a turkey vulture. So like we just talked about in our story, they are incredibly important. They're Nature's Flying Janitor. I would even say that they're Nature's Flying Hazmat team, because they can, let me see if I can get a little farther from you. Is that better? They can actually eat things like anthrax and rabies and things like that. And their stomach acid is so strong that it stops that in its tracks. Unfortunately, they are not able to eat things like poisons. So unfortunately, we do have them come in poisoned with lead poisoning as well as other poisoning. So we tell folks, no poisons out in the world out there, right? Let me turn this around so that they can see you. Oh, do you want to step up on the glove? All right, hold on, folks. Okay, we can step up. Well, it's a little higher than I'd like you. You want to come down? You want to go in? Maybe we'll show the folks breakfast. Yeah? All right, thank you guys for being patient with me. She's a big bird to move on our own. There we go. All right, are you ready? You want to go have breakfast? We'll go say hi to Dante. Here we go. She says, Kristen, where's my food? Where's my food? Kristen, here we go. All right, so we're going to go back in. For those of you that don't know Violet, she lives, she's going to whack me in the face with her wing, because that's what she does. She lives with Dante, who's our American crow. Hi, lovely lady. Yeah, we're going to go in. Yeah, let's go have breakfast. We did our story time. We're good. I'll let you go ahead. Let's see. I'm actually going to duck in. Get you here. And then we'll let Brewster in. We have a double door system just because it makes everybody happier, healthier, and safer. And let me shut that. Oh no, I'm not rotating your phone. Okay, there we go. Let me put this thing up here. Can you step up? Good girl. Let me take off your jesses. Let me take off my glove. There you go, little lady. I'm not sure I want to take off the glove, right? Someone's been a little nippy lately, right? So Violet gets fed down here on this perch. You can see she knows exactly what's happening. Good girl, Violet. There you go. My breakfast. Dante's breakfast is up here, but he's kind of a brat when it comes to his food right now. Violet, can I get some video of you eating? So you can see she doesn't have super strong feet, but she can certainly rip things with that beak. Oh, it might be because I have the glove. He is not a fan of the glove. Dante isn't. So you'll notice that Violet eats down here whereas Dante's food is up there. And that's because Dante is fully flighted. Violet is not. So we put his food up so that she can't get to it. Oh, Wendy, thank you so much. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much for donating. That's really super helpful. We really appreciate it. Helps us make sure these guys get all these snacks and things too. Dante, what's going on? Upset. He says, I don't know. Katie, it is interesting how they cohabitate. So this is the first time that we have housed different species together. Vultures are known to be able to cohabitate with a few different species. They were actually both young birds when they came in, so that helped them to be able to live together. Dante is a boy, Violet is a girl. So if you're hungry, you can have your food. What are you doing? What are you all worked up about? He says, I don't know. What is Violet eating? Violet is eating, today she has mice. So she gets, how many, 6? 4, 6? 4 to 6, depending upon their size. So she'll get that for enrichment. She also gets things like fish heads and things like that. And she'll also get rats, etc. We cannot feed her. Oftentimes people will offer us roadkill or things like that. Thank you, Brewster. But we can't feed that to them, unfortunately, because, okay, Dante, let me put this out so that you're not upset. Okay. Okay. There, we're all done now. Let's see. I'm going to sit right here. It's okay, Dante. There you go. So you can see that Violet made quick work of those things. Are vultures and buzzards the same thing, Perry? Great question. They actually, I've actually heard people refer to red-tailed hawks as buzzards. So yes and no, I guess, is the best answer to that. Not really sure how else to say it. Oh, we're getting fresh waters. Yeah. What are you doing? Oh, you silly girl. You silly girl. You're so excited. No. What are you doing? There you go. So another thing that we need to know about vultures is that they love to play. So for instance, what she's doing right now is showing, what do you want to play with? You want to play with one of these? You want the bunny? Oh, get it. Good girl. Get it. Good girl. Yeah. You're so fast. So now she's excited because she's eaten. And so she's sort of doing her funny, like, excited flop. What are you doing, silly girl? Are you excited? Sometimes she'll actually spin in circles, like kind of digging her beak down into the... You want your fleece? Yeah, get that fleece. You gonna get it? You're so funny. She's an absolute treat. Super, super wonderful lady. So we are glad that you guys were able to join us this morning for our story time. And, oh yeah, like Buzzards Bay in Massachusetts. That's interesting. Yeah. So I would guess that's probably the same thing. You want that? I think down south is where they call the buzzards, or the red-tailed buzzards. Get it. Get it. Good girl. Good girl. Get that fleece. Yeah, good job. There you go. Oh, you're so strong. You're so strong. So it's really fun. She goes through different favorite things. Right now she's picking everything up. Different favorite things. Now what do you want? You want something in here again? All right. You want the ball? Oh, yeah, get that ball. That's one of her favorites. Good job, Violet. Oh, you're so good. Look at you. Look at you. She loves to play. You want something else? Oh, you got the ring? Good girl. Good girl, Violet. So she's really neat. They're very intelligent. They're really social. They're super fun and completely underrated, I think. Oh, sorry. No, Michelle, I did not tell the story. So Violet came to us actually because she was hit by a vehicle and when she was younger. So she's unable to fly. She came to us from the Cape Wildlife Center. So she's been with us ever since. She's the first vulture that we've had here, the first vulture I've ever worked with, the first vulture we've trained. And I think that she may have spoiled me for all other vultures because she's just magnificent. She's funny and quirky and has a sense of humor and loves to play. Get that ball. Get that ball. Get that ball. Good girl. Get it. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, you're so fierce. Look at that. You're so smart. Look at you. Oh, get that ball too. Just incredible. Look at you so much. You're just lovely. Huh? Are you so lovely? What other balls do we have in here for you? Most of these are Dante's toys. Oh, you liked this one the other day. Do you want this one? No, we're done now. Okay. She says, well, I'm done. So she's eaten, and she's played, and now she's probably going to hop up and go sit in the sun and preen and have the rest of her afternoon to just relax. Are we cleaning our beak right now? That's nice. You're a good girl, Violet. Good job. So we say thank you for coming to play with us. Get that bear. Good girl. And see ya.